Okay, looking to kick things off in the next 20 seconds here with our first men's heat.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be an exciting one. I think we've got Estienne Ferreira, who's currently sitting in the third place in this heat now. Going to be interesting to see how these gentlemen break it up off the bat, especially given that extra load on their back. And they are off and onto the rings. Really keen to see how these gentlemen approach this.
In our screen right now, that is Estienne Ferreira. He's currently sitting in third position on the unofficial men's leaderboard.
Yeah, he's not trying to break these up at all, Matt.
All right, Estienne with 2 reps remaining. And just slipping out of the rings. He looked like he was holding up his shoulder back there. Hopefully nothing too serious. Once again, and a big point raised by Kent. The weight of this backpack, this Go Ruck, holding you back as you try and transition through the rings is going to be a massive game changer for a lot of these athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. These are movements we tend to see in a CrossFit box on a day-to-day basis. But adding that additional load, yeah, that's a bit of a tricky one, especially in the way that we do. You can expect these athletes to do all of these movements with a weighted vest. However, now transferring all of that load onto the back does change it up.
Focusing now on Yusuf Ihab.
Interesting choice
10.
to go with the long pants, right?
And that's Willem Sneeman right over here. Lane number 2. In lane number 10, ready with still a full minute to go, Yusuf Ihab over here, moving through his first set of burpee box overs. Right, and we have just got confirmation that Estienne Ferreira has pulled out now due to a shoulder injury coming through those rings. We could see he was a little bit unstable coming through the rings. He dropped off and held onto his shoulder. That's going to be very disappointing for Estienne, seeing as he was already sitting in third position out of that first event.
Yeah, if you're Estienne, you might just be making the choice to throttle back a bit. He's still young. He's got a long career in this game. What an interesting first round. It looks like pretty much all the gentlemen got to the burpee box jump over portion, Matt.
I mean, a massive difference turn of events from our ladies' first heat, where none of our ladies in heat number 1 actually got through the rings. So definitely a little bit more exciting. But a little unfortunate to see Estienne have to pull out. Hopefully that's nothing too serious on the shoulder, and he's just being a little overly cautious. But he doesn't seem to be the kind of person that would pull out over nothing. Okay,
Matt, this is turning out to be quite the race. I think we've got a very different proposition in our hands at the moment. I guess it's a matter of just tracking those boxes and seeing who makes the move first in this next round.
Right over there, Willem Sneeman is looking strong, ready through the first round.
Yeah, Willem sporting the man bun, which as we know is basically an instant PR on any of your mobility modalities.
So he's extra mobile, but when it comes down to really showing the field, isn't the mullet the way to go?
Absolutely, if you are looking for overall strength and wind gains, but definitely the man bun is where the mobility is at.
Channeling his inner Noah Olsen. On lane 10 there, Yusuf Ihab just failing through one of his ring muscle ups. In lane 2, Willem Sneeman with 1 repetition left, and he's going to go for it.
They might have been almost unbroken.
Just not able to hang in those rings. But let's shift over to lane number 4, Josh Kernot. He's onto a set of pistols, and he's got one of the leading boxes out. So already through a set of 10 burpee box overs. Josh Kernot, also one of the athletes that came out blazing in test number 1. But then remember, slowly just falling down the pack.
Yeah. He's really moving very nicely now, though.
Right on your screen now, Yusuf Ihab, one of the leading men in this heat. And Josh Kernot first to the box to start with his second set of burpee box overs.
Yeah, and he's got a minute left in the tank, man. We might just see him get to move that box again before the end of this round.
I think that might be a given. We've got a bit of a tight race building here between Josh Kernot and Yusuf Ihab. Lane number 4 and lane number 10 on your screens. Dane Nordia joining the group there. And all the way at the back there in lane number 8, Dane Nordia, also the youngest male competitor at the competition this year. Only 20 years of age.
Crazy, Matt. What were you doing at 20?
I can't even remember.
It was that long ago.
I had just found CrossFit then, but I was in no way competing at any kind of high level. It was my first year when I turned 20 at my local affiliate. And now I'm giving away my age, I suppose, eh?
I mean, it's okay. You are in good company here. I'm a Masters athlete, so... Although for the first time this year, let's just manage that expectation. One more round left in this one, Matt. Early ascendancy. We can see them lay the land in lane 5. Sorry, in lane 4.
4, 3, 2,
Yeah.
1.
All right, we're back off Josh Kernot, currently holding the lead. Let's see if he can extend that.
Getting a nice up and close visual over here of Dane Nordia. Dane Nordia coming up from the back and just hanging on to Josh Kernot's score over there. Busy moving into the set of 30 burpee box overs. And that's the man right over there on your right or on your left hand side, 20 years old. This is Matthew Schiff, lane number 1, representing CrossFit Juggernaut. This is Matthew Schiff's first appearance at a semifinals event.
The cumulative fatigue on the grip may be just getting a bit much for some of these athletes now. Amir Salah in lane number 5. Incredible finish he had in the last event. Super pumped off the tail end of it, coming in under their time cap.
And then just over to the left of Amir on our screens in lane number 6, Jason Dix. But here we go again. The leader, Josh Kernot, of this current heat. Still looking very relaxed. Moving through his set of 20 pistol squats, 5 per side. Remember, that leg cannot touch the floor during the set of pistols, or during the set of 5. If the foot touches the floor, their score does not reset to 0, but the rep does not count. So these athletes doing everything to make sure that they're not getting unnecessary no reps.
Which is also an interesting new standard, right? Because, I mean, that leg has already taken on quite a bit of fatigue having done all of those reps. And now you're saying, sorry, you actually can't put the resting leg down just yet.
Let's not forget the workout that they just spent the morning doing. A 30-minute burner.
Adrian Bosman, we see you. Josh Kernard really just opening up that lead substantially right now, Matt.
Yeah, and I think he's going to try and drop a gear a little bit now. So a reminder, that box over height is 30 inches with a 20-pound ruck on the back and into your set of 30 burpee box jump overs. We've got 15 seconds left. Dane Nordia is making a bit of a stab out there in the back in lane number 8. He might be able to overtake Yusuf Ahib.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And that is it for your men's second heat here at the Rebel Renegade Games, the semifinals of the Noble CrossFit Games.
There he is, Josh Kernard.
Clearly
Nice and
happy with
close
that
on your
result.
screen. Very happy with himself. I think he knows what he just did. He is already inside the top 20 men for this event.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to kick off the third heat. Your top men about to go head to head. Now, looking at your lane assignments. In lane number 1, James Van Dongen. Number 2, Marlo Prinsloo. Number 3, Al Sayed Hassona. Lane number 4, Damian Buertas. Lane number 5, Hamza Mahir. Lane number 6, Robert Huyer. Lane number 7, Dris Bukaya. Lane number 8, Julian Liebenberg. Lane number 9, Asim Efat. And lane number 10, Hilmar von Mansberg. Now, for those of you listening in, we want to encourage you to, if you have any questions, hit us up in the comment section of the YouTube live feed. We can get the engagement going, and we're seeing you guys coming in and looking through. So if you have any questions or you'd like to raise anything, let's get the conversation going.
Just having a look at this second heat of your men. Obviously, in our last event, James Van Dongen and Damian Buertas put up quite a big show. It's going to be very interesting to have a look this time, moving on to the very gymnastic-y skill part. Anyone you got your eye on?
Yeah, look, I'm hoping to see something significant from James in this one. He came out really strong in the last heat, and I think he was a little disappointed with his overall result, but you can see the caliber of movement that he's got going on. That and sitting under the tutelage of Jason Smith, you know he's got a lot to run after.
I'm with you there. I do think, and I am expecting quite a solid gymnastic turnout from James Van Dongen in this second event.
And they're off, Matt. Heat number 2, event number 2, the final event for today for the individuals. Really tricky workout, and in the comments, we're getting a couple of questions in and around the ruck. Now, that is not for us to decide, but it definitely does test the complexity of what is already a complex set of movements, Matt.
Okay, so the question that's come up is, do we feel that the ruck was even a necessary add-on to this event? And this has been a question that has already been discussed during the course of the weekend, and we've spoken about it in depth off the mic, just because of the added weight that gets, added to the athlete's back very unexpectedly. Not a lot of athletes would have trained this in the past. This is an uncommon, for instance, these Go-Rucks had to be shipped into South Africa for the semi-final. So it's not even a piece of equipment that is easily accessible for these athletes to train with in our country. I think on the global scale, I'm not 100% sure. It obviously adds in a massive Yeah, it's very different. It changes up the whole movement. It kind of throws a big obstacle in the way of your normal movement pattern. And I just think a lot of people weren't expecting it, especially if you've never been able to train with this particular bag before.
Yeah, that question coming in from Daniel Adams, and a really good one. I think to err on the not so controversial side of the answer, Rich Froning, a poster child for the sport, came out this week and I guess expressed his frustrations with it. But be that as it may, constantly varied. We're here to test a broad domain of skills and the adaptability that goes along therewith. Also, if you have any questions or you'd like to have a chat with us, do remember to hit us up in the YouTube comment section that is now streaming YouTube Live.
Right, back onto the floor. We have just passed the 2-minute mark, and all of the men in the second heat have passed through the ring complex. 1 or 2 men still left down the pistol squats, but the majority of the field already attacking those 30-inch burpee box overs. And Robbie Hoyer over here in lane number 6, just moving his bag forwards. Was the first athlete to move his bag forward, but right alongside him in lane number 7, we've got Dris.
Oh, he's looking to make that last second burpee count. Jeez, man, it's actually so easy when you've got 5 seconds left to be like, oh no, I'm just going to conserve that energy. But at this level of the game,
every single second counts. Every rep counts. You can't leave anything behind.
So I know in CrossFit, we're always promoting the fact that every single rep counts, but when that rep is a burpee box jump, I just don't know that there's a lot of will inside of my heart to want to go after it.
So as you can see down on the floor from this top view, we've got 3 boxes already into the set of 20 burpees. And I think this is where things start getting a little bit taxing. Into the second round, we'll see how many of these athletes are still able to stay unbroken through this complex. 1 toes to rings, 1 ring muscle up, and 1 ring dip. Just onto the right of the screen, Robbie Hoyer making this look super easy.
Yeah, Robbie just moves well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's another one of those athletes. Good experience, just had a lot of time in the game and just moves very well. Having a look here, Damien Botas struggling a little bit in this event compared to his first event.
Yeah, he absolutely blasted that sled pull in the last event, didn't he?
Hey, going back down to the floor, we've got 4 men. Right here at the bottom of your screen, James van Dongen. He is one of the 3 men and one of the men with our money on him to get quite far through this workout.
Yeah, I think it's invariable that if you do your training under the tutelage of one Jason Smith, it's more than likely you are going to be an absolute stud on the floor, so to speak. He's moving with intention at the moment.
Okay, right over here in front of us, we've got Dris Bouchia. Currently leading this heat. we've got James van Dongen coming out of CrossFit Kailami. And yeah, as mentioned by Kent, trains underneath Jason Smith, who is, as you could see out of the unofficial men's leaderboard, is already leading the men's field.
Interesting that he chooses to fully extend at the top of the box, Matt. The first athlete we've seen, especially in the ascendancy, do that today.
Here we go, moving all the way down there to lane number 10. That was Hilmar van Mansberg, just getting through his set of pistol squats and sneaking in a couple of burpee box overs. But currently leading this heat right here at the bottom of your screen, James van Dongen. Robbie Hoyer and Dries Bouchier very close behind him. This is all going to come down here to this third round. And as we mentioned before, this third round of burpee box overs is a full send moment. This is these athletes' last event for today. It's their last round, their last opportunity to try and make up some reps.
Asim getting some big love on the chats, on the live YouTube chat right now. Not the first one we've seen. Also Hamza getting some big love. Final round for the second heat about to go down before we lock it up for the entire weekend before, well, rather let me say we've got one more heat thereafter.
Okay, so this race in the second part of your screen, on the left of your screen, we've got Robbie, we've got Dries, and we've got James. These guys are going neck and neck through this, and it's going to come down to a matter of burpee box overs.
James van Dongen looking like he's going to go unbroken again, Matt. Look how easy that ring dip looks for him, though. It's a little bit silly just how easy he makes that look.
And James kicking off his set of 20 pistol squats, starting out with 5 on the left leg. With just over 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock for these guys. We've got Robbie, who's just bumped ahead of Dries between lane 6 and lane 7. Robbie chipping away through his set of 20 pistol squats. But James still leading the pack, moving into his final set of burpee box overs. Robbie is right behind him. And this is going to become a race between Robbie and James. Lane 1 and lane number 6 on your screen.
Yeah, you're going to want to see who moves that box first to see who gets that ascendancy heading into the final portion of this workout.
Both of these men moving through their set of 30 burpee box overs. So averaging 10 burpee box overs every round. But with 15 seconds left, we are just watching which box is going to move first. And James squeezes in one more rep. Robbie had nothing in him to squeeze out one more rep before the time cap. James getting out of that ruck as fast as possible.
And to quote a famous song we heard growing up, let the bodies hit the floor.